Welcome to Criticurb, a fast-type production, and I'm your host, Uche Teresa Izuko. And today we have a special guest in our call-out session on creativity and you. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ruth Snyder to the show. Ruth is a creativity and book coach at RLS Creativity Coaching. She guides Christian entrepreneurs along the book writing journey, providing a safe place for them to birth their stories. Ruth enjoys reading and writing from a young age. Ruth has shared her expertise on platforms like Thrive Global, Women in Publishing, Authority Magazine, The Right Coach, and Auto Audience Academy. She guides people through practical steps that make writing a book an attainable goal. Ruth has served in many areas, ranging from her work as a legal secretary to holding various roles in Christian leadership, teaching music, and as a speaker, coach, and a workshop leader. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ruth Snyder to the show. Yay! Welcome.
Thanks, Uche. I really appreciate your invitation to join you today.
Yes, I know how busy you are, but you made out time to come here today to chat with me, and I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much, and you're welcome to the show. Welcome.
Thanks. I really enjoy connecting with other creative people who understand my language.
Oh, that's very good. We seem to align with the same purpose and goals, and it's so exciting, when you meet someone that kind of has that connection, and it's very welcoming. So it's good. It's lovely. All right, look at that, Ruth. Thank you. You see, congratulations on your achievements, and I'm so proud of all you've done and all you're doing. And so, can you tell us more about your books, okay, and how being a Christian entrepreneur has helped you to change the lives of others positively?
Sure. So my first book, interestingly enough, was called Learn Twitter. It was I learned how to use Twitter, and it made sense to me. And my author friends were asking me to tell them how they could use Twitter effectively. Okay. I thought I would be writing a devotional or something more spiritual. But what they needed was a step-by-step lessons on how to use Twitter, how to set up their accounts, and what to avoid and what to do. And so that was my first book. And then from there, I was invited to do a Christmas story, a 10,000 word Christmas story that went into an anthology called The 12 Days of Christmas.
Okay.
And the publisher that did that book really liked my work and invited me to join a team of writers. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's really good. That is so good. Thank you so much for sharing that. Okay. So I do see here that you're able to guide people through practical steps that can help them towards discovering where their inner strength lies. So can you tell us, how has this unique skill helped you as an individual?
So I think I need to credit my ability to break things into small steps to my two sons who have developmental delays.
Okay.
Teaching them has taught me how to take either a complex activity or even just something simple and break it into teeny tiny steps that are achievable. And so that's one skill that I use all the time. And everything that I teach my clients, I have experienced personally. I know what it feels like to have imposter syndrome. I know what it feels like to not want to sit down in that chair and write, but disciplining myself and doing it anyway. Yeah. And I know what it feels like to hold that book in my hand after it's published.
I know.
And be able to share it with the world.
Yeah, that feeling of holding that book in your hand, it feels like having a new baby the first time you hold that baby in your arms.
It does.
That's the kind of feeling I get when I hold, when that book comes out, and it's really good. And with your experience with your two sons, and I think it kind of builds more like patience. So over the years, you've developed that ability to be patient.
Yes.
And also to motivate yourself. And those days when you don't feel like writing, because you just don't want to write, but you tend to push yourself a bit. You tend to tell yourself, you know what? I love writing. This is what I do. It's my passion. Regardless, I have to do it. And
That's right.
that push is enough to get you started. And I tell you, once you start, it's like boom, 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 go,
Yeah.
go, go. Because the next thing is you're looking forward to holding that new book in your arms.
That's right.
Yeah.
But there is a struggle that all creative people face, and that's we have so many ideas and we are tempted to go in so many different directions.
Exactly.
That shiny object syndrome can be a lot of fun, but oh boy, is it ever exhausting.
As creative people, we have this vast knowledge of ideas, opinion, and we just want to, it's like a riot, the chaos in there. We just want to do everything at the same time. And at the end of the day, you just end up, most times I end up just stressing myself mentally that
Yes.
I don't want to do anything else. I just want to go to bed, sleep, or just drink it over a glass of beer. And
Yep.
oh, wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, Ruth. So let's go over to our next question here. So can you tell us a bit more about RLS coaching? Okay. There are lots of writers out there struggling with the right way to approach their story. And how has your expertise in this and spiritual guidance helped inspire and nurture writers to break that shackle of fear and embrace their creative capabilities via RLS Creativity coaching platform?
That's a great question. And fear is, I think, our biggest enemy.
I
know. And often we are our own worst enemies, aren't we? Yeah. Because we want to do something, but that fear really does hold us back. Yeah. And so for me, I start by finding out where each person is at, because everybody starts at a different place. Yeah. And finding out what they've tried already. Okay. And then usually I have my clients set 2 or 3 main goals that they want to accomplish over, I set 3 months as a window to work with them to begin with. And so we talk about goals and then come up with strategies. And for some people, like I'm working with a client right now, and she wants to write a book, but she was so stuck that she couldn't even set goals because she's a perfectionist. And she told me, she said, if I set a goal and I don't achieve it, I'm not going to be happy with myself and I'm going to feel crushed. And so it took me about half an hour of just asking her questions and getting feedback before we actually could set a goal. And we started with something really small. I said, okay, do you think you could write for 10 minutes every other day? She's like, 10 minutes? Yeah, that's nothing. I said, okay, well, let's start with that. So 10 minutes every other day. And she came back to the next session and she was so excited because she had accomplished her goal. And now she's actually taking a course of mine and she's doing writing work every day. Plus she's writing 10 minutes every day.
Wow.
So a lot of times it's just getting that first step taken. And then once you get excited and see that you are having success, you move forward.
Yeah, I mean, it's always baby steps, and you have to, most times it's better to crawl before working, and because in crawling, you tend to put in place how to walk.
Right.
So if we're taking it little by little, we don't want to right away overwhelm our brain or our mental capabilities. We don't want to right away tell it, you know what, I'm tired, I can do this. We want to take it little step by step, baby steps, and feel accomplished. We're still on the show Criticurb of Outside Production, and we're on our call-out session here with our special guest, Ruth. Ruth is a book coach and an author and an international public speaker as well. Ruth, you're welcome to the show. Welcome.
Thank you.
All right, so let's go over to our next question. So tell us, how are you able to set goals and achieve them? I told you some people are really bad with goals, Sometimes I do that. I'm not very good with it, but I'm learning in a hard way. So this will help inspire our friends out there who need some kind of boost and daily dose of creative inspiration to get by.
So I think it depends on the individual. Some people find it easier to think of the big picture and then come down to what they actually want to accomplish.
Yeah.
So those kind of people find it easy to say, okay, I want to write a book and I'm going to have it published by next year. And then they can take a calendar and say, okay, in order to get it published by then I'm going to write so many chapters in a week and set goals that way. The thought of writing a book was just overwhelming for me. So, but then I thought, you know what? Writing one word is not hard. If I can write one word at a time, I can write a sentence, and then sentences make up a paragraph, and paragraphs make up a short story or an article, and then a short story or an article makes up a chapter, and chapters make up books. So there you go.
We're still on the show Criticurb, a Fast Start production, and I'm your host, Uche Teresa Izuko. And today we have a super duper special guest here with us, Ruth. Ruth is a book coach, international public speaker, and the CEO of RLS Coaching. If you want more videos like this, please do subscribe to our channel. And this is our call out session on creativity and you. Ruth, you're still welcome to the show. Welcome.
Thank you.
All right, let's go over to our next question. So tell us, with your several expertise in publishing, writing, coaching, Christian leadership, teaching music, international speaker, workshop leader. Phew.
You make me tired when you read off my list.
Oh my God, Ruth. It's so, I don't know, okay, I'll keep going. How do you feel? How do you feel about where you are right now in terms of what you have achieved? And how did all these help you to discover your passion, who you are, and what you have become?
Well, like I said, I've experienced everything that I'm helping coach people through. Yeah. And I think it was really important for me to go through all those experiences because I'm not giving empty words. Like I'm not reading a book and then pretending I know what I'm doing.
That's right. Yeah.
I have been there. I've been in the trenches and I've experienced the discouragement and looked at other people and said, oh, they're doing so much. How can I ever do all of that? And I think, you know, when you read the list off, it seems like, oh, how could she do all that?
Yeah.
But it's just one step at a time.
Exactly.
And so, I don't know, I because I'm a creative person and I'm assuming most people that are listening are creatives, you know how when you try something new, it kind of fuels your passion. And so we need to try new things every once in a while and just step out, and if we fail, oh well.
Oh yeah.
Right? Failure is not, I read a good quote the other day, failure is not permanent unless you don't try again.
Exactly.
So I grew up being taught that failure was bad, but I don't think that anymore. Failure is just another step in learning. And so putting yourself out there and just trying, and sometimes you're going to succeed and sometimes you're not.
Exactly.
But just keep going. Yeah. And so the newest venture that I'm working on right now is actually putting together an app called Entrepreneur Right. So that's a whole new piece that I've never done before, and I'm excited to see what it looks like in the end. I have an app developer that I'm working with. Yeah. And it's supposed to be coming out in September or October. So.
Oh, okay. What are your next big steps? Where are all of these taking you to? Where do you see yourself excelling into from here? We've talked a lot about your accomplishments. Do you have any fears and challenges?
I tell my students all the time is that, you know, yeah, you're nervous, but did you know that people that earn money by playing music also get nervous?
Yeah.
And some people get so nervous that they throw up before they perform.
No.
We don't think of professionals as having those issues, right? Yeah. So I guess I don't know if it's encouraging or discouraging to know that no matter where you are in your writing career, you're always going to have those fears, those feelings of, oh, am I good enough? Am I bringing
Yeah,
something unique to the audience?
that's right.
Yeah, those fears are always there. And so I'm working on building my coaching business right now, and I'm working with a business coach who's helping me develop more courses. So I have a
Okay.
course on write your best-selling book outline in 30 days. It's kind of like a 30-day challenge,
Ooh.
and
Oh,
it includes market research, which I feel is a piece that most people miss. We get so excited about writing a book that we don't take the time to see what's already out there, and we
exactly.
don't we're not as intentional as we should be about
Okay.
thinking who our audience is, and using, reaching out to all our audience in the way that is meaningful to them and will
Yeah.
reach them. So that's included in my course. And then I have another course that I have put together, but it's not available yet, about social media.
Okay.
So
Oh, that's good. And it's good to kind of with a little bit of research, when you look out there to see what is out there, it kind of gives you a feel of what people want to see, what people
mhm.
want to read. You don't want to spend so much time writing something that nobody wants to connect with. Yeah,
Yes.
so I think it's really good when you're in that space where you're open-minded as a writer, as a creative
Mhm.
person, and you're ready to adapt to change
Yes.
because you really never know what gets people really excited, and that's something you really need to tap into as a creative
Mhm.
person and try to build it within the framework of what you do. And
Mhm.
I tell you, at the end, it turns out really good. It turns out
Mhm.
really wonderful. Yeah, that
Yes.
is so good, so good, so good, so good. Thank you, Ruth. Thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you.
You're
All
welcome.
right, so let's go over to our next question here. So I'm sure a lot of people out there are eager to know more about what you do. How can we reach out to you for collaborations or partnerships? We're all interested in getting to know you more.
Thank you. So I do have a website. It's ruthlsnyder.com, and Snyder is Snyder.
Okay,
And I also am on like the most common social media
social media.
platforms like Facebook, and
Okay,
I met Uche through LinkedIn. And so, yeah, if you go
nice.
on my website,
Okay,
you'll find the links to my social media and
okay.
can find out what else I'm up to.
We're still on the show Criticurb of Fast Side Production, and this is our call out session on creativity and you. And today we have a special guest. Ruth Snyder is our special guest today. She is a book coach, international public speaker, and also the CEO of RLS Coaching. And for more videos like this, do subscribe to our channel. All right, thank you so much for sharing all this fun stuff with us. I do have like a game that we can play together.
Okay.
It's just for fun, okay, and just for laughs as well.
All right. See how
All right,
creative we're feeling today.
okay. All right, so let's pretend right now that you have four clients or four
Okay.
students, and
Mm-hmm.
they come up to you and they need help with your story, okay? And they want you to coach them towards making and arranging their story into book chapters or something like that. Okay, I'm going to give you four students and four scenarios, okay? So the
Okay.
first student already has a plot or an outline, but totally lost, but totally lost on how to open the dialogue in that story. So they have a plot, they have an outline, but that's it. They don't know what else to do. The second student already has a plot and the first chapter, but now unable to proceed further because nothing else is coming to mind. Okay.
Mm.
The third student has no plot, no chapter, no story. And the fourth student has a plot, a chapter, a story, even a book. But while you were going through the book or story, you realized that the story does not align with the plot in any way.
Uh,
So tell us, who would you rather work with out of these four? Or
oh boy. Well, I would say
okay.
I could probably work with all of them.
Mm-hmm.
But it's probably It's probably easier to start with somebody, either somebody that doesn't know what they want to write about yet, or somebody who has the first chapter and is kind of stuck there. The other ones aren't an impossibility. It's just after you have some writers are very protective and they don't like to be edited. None of us are like that, right?
Yeah. A huge part of me was expecting you to say all of them because it's what you do, right? And you're passionate about what you do. So I don't see you removing someone or choosing one over the other, because the 4 students are all unique in their different ways, and it's 4 different scenarios, and I'm sure you can handle working with 4 of them. So, which is good. You passed that test. Yay!
Oh, thank you.
I didn't actually like the way, I think I kind of put your brain at work there, because I see you go,
thinking, yes.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much for coming to the show, Ruth. Thank you so much. And that's everything I have for you today. And I want to tell you that I draw inspiration from your work and what you do, and helping those people out there, inspiring and emerging writers out there. They look upon to you for, for that inspirational, for that creative outburst. And you're there for them. And I really appreciate all that you're doing for them. I'm looking forward to working with you. So thank you so much for coming to the show. And yeah, thank you. And you have a wonderful day.
Thank you. You too.